This new insane print-on-demand tool is absolutely going to change the print-on-demand game. Everyone always asks me how you can speed up your print-on-demand process. Specifically, how can we make realistic mockups as fast as possible? Well, I'm about to show you how you can automate your mockups moving forward and create thousands of mockups literally within minutes. The tool is called SimplyListed, which helps you automate all of your mockups, and it was actually created by Cassie Johnson, who, if you're on YouTube, you probably know who she is, pretty much the biggest print-on-demand YouTuber out there. So I started playing with the app to try to understand if this is actually something that I would use and recommend to students. And spoiler, yes it is. So let me give you a full tutorial on how to use this. So the first thing you're gonna do is link both your Printify and your Etsy store so that everything can work together. The next step is to create a template, and you're gonna need a template for every Printify product that you sell. So if you have comfort colors, you need a comfort colors template. If you sell Bella Canvas, if you sell mugs, if you sell sweatshirts, because each of these are gonna have their own mockups. So we're actually gonna go in and create a new template. And for us to start here, we're gonna just start with the comfort colors 1717. So we can go through our production partner and pick one of the products that we want to make this mockup template for. You can see here that it's pulled up all the Printify catalog here, and I'm gonna type in what I'm looking for, and I'm going to go ahead and select this, and I'm gonna pick my print provider. And this does need to match the actual print provider that you use. If you use Printify Choice, you select Printify Choice, but I use SwiftPod for all of my printing. And then I'm just gonna select a variant size. This is just a basis. It doesn't actually matter that much, but Printify usually measures on a large. So when you're actually placing your product on a Printify mockup, that's usually a large size. So I'm gonna go with the large here. And instead of actually creating the size first, I'm just gonna select all of my mockups for that product. So if you only sell maybe 5 different colors, with comfort colors, you only have to upload 5 mockups. But if sometimes you switch up the mockups, you can create a mockup for every single color. So upload a mockup for all of those. I'm just doing 6 colors for now, actually 5 plus a size chart. So let's save this and see what this looks like. So now you can see all of our mockups loaded into this file here. Along at the bottom, I have my size guide or my size chart, and you can include any of your photo cards that you want to upload to Etsy automatically. I would include them in this file. And now we need to place our print area. So this is why it was important that we clicked SwiftPod and picked the right print provider, because everyone has slightly different dimensions. So when I actually hit print area, it is going to grab the actual ratio of the SwiftPod print size. And so I'm just going to now arrange this, and I'm going to place it on my shirt with how this would actually print and how I'm laying this out on Printify. And another thing I like to do is slightly lower the transparency, because I do this in mockups because when things are actually printed, they're not as bright as your original file. And we also need to make sure that the platform knows which color that this design is for. So once we have our print area, we're gonna click on this, and we're gonna click this little tagging button at the top, which is beside print area. And we're going to select the colors that correspond with this mockup. So this is a moss mockup. This one here is a white mockup. And you're gonna see that once these are done, you're gonna see the name in the file here. And you're just gonna go through all of these and tag them with the actual color that this mockup is for. And if you need a visual help with this, you can open up Printify and just take a look at the product you're selling with the print provider you're selling it with, and kind of try to take note of how the print box sits on this shirt. But on Printify, again, you're measuring for a size large, versus with these mockups, it does look like she's wearing a 2XL, much larger. And on Printify, things don't scale upwards past large. So on this one, there is gonna be extra bottom space, but I'm okay with that. That's kind of how this is going to print. So we're almost done for this file here. But one last thing I wanna do is soon, I've heard they're just fixing it, SimplyListed is also going to upload a video mockup for you automatically, which is going to be a slideshow of all of your mockups. But you probably don't want a lot of your photo cards, like your size guide, to be in this video. So what you're gonna do is click on the 3 dots here, and you're gonna hit add page name, and we're gonna type in ignore video, and you're gonna hit update and do this for every file in here that you don't want to be a part of this video. So any size guides, information cards, fit guides, anything like this. Okay, so now we're gonna hit save, and you might be thinking, well, this is taking a little bit of time, more than it takes for me to make mockups. The thing is, you just need to set this up once. And now every time you make a design for Comfort Colors 1717, you can apply this template and you can do hundreds of listings at once. So now let's walk through the whole process of creating a Printify listing, automatically creating the mockups, and automatically sending it to Etsy. So I've created my design here in Kittle, and I actually made this to the right sizing of the Printify Comfort Colors, the SwiftPod print area. Or if it's easier and you're just making a t-shirt as well on Kittle, you can also just click and you're also able to just select your artboard size as t-shirt. And that one happens to be the right print area size. You can find the right print area size when you actually open up the editor here. And just at the side, you're always gonna see this here, print area size, right here, 4200 by 4800. When you are using SimplyListed, you're gonna get the best results if you don't have to scale your design up and down in Printify, and you actually just make your art to the right print area size. So we can see here, I have both of my designs here, one for dark shirts and one for light shirts, and it's aligned to the top because I want this to be at the top of the shirt. So now I've gone and added my design in here, and when I added it, you can see that because I made it to the right print size area, I don't have to scale this up and down, which is going to make your mockups turn out the best. And now I'm going to go select my variants, which are the colors that I want to print on. I can select 2 of these, and SimplyListed will only create mockups for the 2 that I created, or I can select all of my colors. If I pick a color that I did not make a mockup for, it's just not going to automatically make a mockup for this. You'll have to manually do it. So I would try to stick with the colors you usually use or the ones you have mockups for. And you can see on here that this dark improv is probably not going to show up on my dark color shirts. So I'm going to make a specific design for all of the ones where the contrast is not high enough. And I'm going to add in my light color version of this design. Now, once I'm happy with the contrast, I'm going to hit save product, and then we're going to publish this to Etsy. You don't really have to worry about your mockups. We're going to be replacing those. We're going to hit save selection. You can fill out any of your regular title, your description, whatever part that you usually do in Printify, and we are going to publish to our Etsy store. Here you can see it in my Etsy store, no mockups. I'd have to go make these all myself, but this is where SimplyListed comes in. So now we're actually going to make the mockups. But first you can test out your template. I love that they have a built-in test tool. So you can click test here, or you can just attach artwork and test it through attaching artwork. But let's do a test on this here. I'm going to dismiss this, and I'm going to select the product that I want to test this with. And I'm going to do test mockup. And you can see how this appear. If it looks kind of funny for you, you can go back into the actual mockup template. And for this, I might actually move down the mockup a little bit here, or move down the print area just a tad. But once you're happy with this, you can leave this here. We can leave the testing area, and now we can actually publish this to Etsy by just clicking on the thumbnail or the product here. For these to show up, it actually needs to match the product. So you're not gonna see your mug listings in here. You're not gonna see your Bella Canvas listings in here. You're not gonna see Monster Digital listings in here because this was made for Comfort Colors by SwiftPod. So I have a few here. And what I could do in theory, though these ones are not optimized, is I could select a bunch of listings at once and make all of my mockups with the click of a button. And my template would apply to every single one of these listings. But I've already done these ones before in the past and they're not optimized. This is the one that we have for now. So I'm just gonna do the one, and we're gonna do create mockup, and then it's gonna go on over to our approval queue. And now you can see in our approval queue, we have all our mockups made for this design here. And if we flip through these, you're gonna notice that it even applied the light design to the right shirts versus my light shirts have the dark design because it is speaking with Printify and pulling the file that is attached to each color so that my mockups are accurately printing the right color. And then once you are happy with this, you're gonna hit publish to Etsy. If I did multiple different Printify and Etsy listings listings at once, we'd see a bunch of other ones in this approval queue in which you could publish them all at once by doing select all. But for this one, I'm just publishing this one mockup here. And now once I open my Etsy, within seconds, I see that my mockups are actually in the matching Etsy file already. And coming into this, I can just look through these, and I actually didn't offer black, and that's why the black here didn't actually upload with the right file. I didn't offer black within my Printify listing, so I'm just gonna delete the ones that I actually didn't select and are not in this file. You can double check it by just going down, and you can check out your colors and sizes. So you can see we have white, blue jean, ivory, moss, and pepper, and those are the mockups that I want in this. And even scrolling up, we can see that our size charts and any of the other files that we wanted that didn't need a mockup are still uploaded to your designs and to your photos. And again, you can do hundreds of these at once, meaning after you set up a template, if you have tons of different designs using those same mockups, you can publish them and create them and publish them to Etsy in minutes. And you can do this for any product on Printify. Let me show you how to do a more complicated one quickly. For example, a woven blanket. Say for blankets, mugs, pillows, any more kind of difficult type of mockup, I always look up the word mockup with the word Canva so I can find Canva specific mockups. And here's what they look like and how they work. They're actually, if you move it down, just a layer in front of your photo that has textures, it has a border to make this look more realistic. So let me show you how you're gonna do this in SimplyListed. First, you're gonna save your image as a JPEG. This is going to be your background so you know how big to place your file, but you're gonna be covering it up. So it's more just for your spacing. So after you save this as a JPEG, so we're saving this as JPEG first, then what you're gonna do is you're going to duplicate this and you're actually just going to save the PNG file of this. So I'm going to share this, download, I'm gonna save this as a PNG with transparent background. That way that this layer is still transparent and I can lay it on top of our design file. So now I have my JPEG as a background. I've added in my print file. I'm expanding it to cover all the spot that I want my mockup to be. And now I'm going to add in my PNG version of this file. And I'm gonna hit add to center so it doesn't take my background. And there we go. Now you actually see the wrinkle on top. You see the textures because that's how this PNG was built. So make sure you're buying Canva mockups because pretty much all the time, those Canva mockups are just a layer that lay on top of your design to make it look a lot more realistic. You can do this with regular blankets too. Any files that have a flat surface or where you can find a Canva mockup version. So now my goal for this week is to be setting up all of my files within SimplyListed so I can very much speed up my listing process because mockups are what take me the longest. And if you want to try this yourself, I have a 7-day free trial linked in my description and the top comment below. And let me know if this is something you will use.